Welcome to a video where I will explain why I am indifferent to Italian Tier 1 cruiser Eritrea. So here it is, here we can see that it's a two-turret cruiser with two guns on each side. And if you go and look at it in terms of modules, here we are, it's 120mm guns with a pretty quick reload time of 3.5 seconds and turnaround time of 22.5 seconds, which is pretty long. You only have HE shells, you don't do that much damage, but it's a tier 1 cruiser, so it's fine, it's not that bad. You got a lot of hit points, 8,100 hit points, you got almost no armor. Look at the armor layout, yeah, we got nothing. So, that's fine. You got a lot of hit points and you can live with that. And then you got also apparently anti-aircraft mounts, which I'm not sure why you need them on tier 1, you're not gonna meet any aircraft carriers that will carry anything. You can shoot at a distance of 9.9 kilometers, which is great, but your detection range is 6.8 kilometers. That's not a lot. So that means, yeah, you can shoot far, but you only see the things that will get close to you, unless somebody else will spot it for you. And your speed is 20 knots, which is okay. It's not fast, but it's fine. You can live with that, and the ship is very much maneuverable. So there it is. That's, I will say, the basics of it. And let's jump into the actual battle, and I'll try to show you exactly what's going on this ship. It's gonna take a while to find the match because it's a tier 1 ship. So that's usually the problem. So let's go through a history of the ship itself and talk a bit about it. So it was constructed in 1935 and commissioned in 1937 to the Italian Navy. Now, it was constructed as what's called a colonial ship. So it was supposed to serve in the colonies, and that's where it served. It served in the East Africa. Now, once the war started, of course, it joined the Italian Navy. It was armed with 120mm guns, which is exactly what we saw here in the game. It had 40mm guns and 13.2mm machine guns. So those were the anti-aircraft guns on it. So also, it could provide a repair service to the submarines, and that's actually, you can see there at the back, it looks like there's a crane on the ship. That's the reason for it. So it was supposed to provide a certain amount of repairs and logistics to the submarine fleet of the Italian Navy. Now, once the war started, the situation in East Africa did not go that well for the Italians, and it was started to become quite clear that they won't be able to hold it there. So the ship sailed for Japan. It went through Indian Ocean to Japan. It arrived in Kobe, Japan, and Italy had an agreement with Japan at that point that it will provide kind of services to the Italian Navy. However, Japan at that moment was not engaged in conflict with its allies. And look at that, we actually jumped to the game very quickly. Therefore, when the ship arrived in February 1941 and decided that we're gonna be operating as a commerce raider, the Japanese government said, well, no, not out of our neutral ports are you gonna be starting operate yourself as a commerce raider. That's not how things go. So they didn't let it leave for a while. Then, after Japan joined the war, after it attacked Pearl Harbor, it joined the war. Of course, the ship now, Eritrea, could go ahead and participate in the conflict again. And what it did now, it would, okay, we're gonna go full speed and we go south to join with the allies. And you can see it has a very nice turning speed. There we are. And so once the ship started to again participate in the conflict, it participated as a logistics ship for what was called the transportation submarines that were sailing from the German-controlled Europe to Japanese-controlled territories, carrying certain rare materials. Then, in September 1943, Italy surrenders to the Allies, and as soon as the ship gets signal of that, it decides, okay, well, now we no longer in the conflict, and it sailed for Ceylon, where it surrendered to the British there. Well, it's actually surrendered to the Ceylon Volunteer Naval Squadron, something like that. But anyway, so it's surrendered there. In 1948, it was transferred to the French Navy and became the French colonial ship under the name of Francis Garnier. And served in such a role until 1965 when it was decommissioned. But it was still used in 1966 during a test of nuclear test by the French in the Pacific Ocean. It was used as a target ship. So that's pretty much it. For its history, while we're sailing it's pretty good that I managed to get that all in and managed to find a match pretty quickly. So as you can see, movement of my turrets is not great, and that does cause problems because sometimes you will find situations where you can only fire 2 guns at a time because, well, you either one is still trying to get to the actual target you want, but you have capabilities to fire quickly. It's kind of good, right? Although I have a hard time hitting targets with this thing for some reason. It's just the way the shells arc. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Everybody else here have a pretty much a straightforward type of movement of the shells, and this guys, this Eritrea just has a weird arc for it, and so it makes it weird. And kind of trying to understand exactly where to aim becomes harder. Alright, let's see. So we're gonna tell this guy that we hurt him, he wants us to fall in line. And what I'm gonna just let these guys do the discovery. But as far as I know, this is a Hermelin ships. The enemy will know they are there before we see them, as far as I know, because there's a big ship. Actually, the Eritrea is also a big ship. So avoiding getting hit is hard because there's so much of a ship to get hit. Yeah. I'm actually so not. I've been playing through the tier 3 and decided to look at these ones now. The tier 1 ones the new ones that appeared over since I haven't played the game for a bit. But yeah, since then I kind of got used to the much more quicker and more impactful action than this situation here right now we're having. I thought Hermelin did not have that good of speed. This used to be I cannot catch up to them. Maybe when now that they're maneuvering, I might be able to do it. I would say the best ship right now among us is the Shengan there. Really remember actually that it was pretty good. Hermelin, not so much. Never really liked it. Alright, it's out of range for me so far. Remember, I'm at 9.9, right? So... But... really not very impactful. Now we're getting close. We're gonna get close to the range. So let's get the guns to bear. Like I said, it's pretty slow, especially for this tier. I'll fall at 1/2 since I see a target. Guns are slowly getting there, and let's see. It's kind of weird. Like everybody else have a pretty much more straightforward shell. Mine's are kind of I don't know.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Ooh. should get out of the way. But like I said, there's so much of a ship for me. And because my guns are... Hopefully I can get out of the way. Move a bit. Maneuvering is pretty good, but maneuvering makes it harder for me to fire at the enemy because guns do not traverse fast enough for me. Ooh, I managed to get some hits. Come on, turn. Alright, fine. Now we're gonna get the guns to finally sail towards us. Oh, they're capturing our area. Wow. Okay, we are in distance again. Let's see if we can go ahead after the Griff. Sailing away, but somebody else has decided to give me for target practice. No, they're not yet doing that. Hold to 3/4. Guns finally at the target. Full speed forward. The guy's turning around, so let's shoot that way. There's so much more shit to do for them to shoot. Dropping speed. Oh, I need to increase speed. Like I said, repair, come on. Damn it, down. That's why it's like, I feel that given the speed, the maneuverability of the ship a bit, and even its guns, it kind of feels like it should be okay of a ship, right? In the hit points and everything, but it's just in combat you never really able to appreciate it that much. That's my problem. That I always feel that I'm just always soaking up all the damage, like it's coming at me, and I'm have a hard time to actually deal with that damage. Like it's like you see this shells, like this guy's ascending, it seems to be pretty straightforward, but mine seems to be arcing over in this weird way, and it's just very difficult to aim with that. That's the reason I'm indifferent to this ship. Like I feel that there is something here, but I'm just not willing to put in the time to really get to know it, because I don't really need to. I can move on to the next tier. Alright, well, thank you for watching and for listening. If you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it, and subscribe.